Welcome to Z's and 3.
For 3 for the win, yes!
And file this under wildly overreactive, possibly, but do the Oklahoma City Thunder need to go out and get Shai Gilgeous-Alexander some help? Can this team, as is, assuming they get Chet Holmgren back, actually win a title? The Thunder have all the assets in the world to go and get essentially whomever they want. Do you push all in if you were Sam Presti, given the way that your superstar is playing? Outside of the one game tonight in the Bay, it was a dog. There were 11 on the slate, 22 teams in action. There were 4 games where teams led wire to wire. We will catch you up on all of them, but before we do, like and subscribe. Email this if you're sitting at work to 5 co-workers. Email it to your whole country. I don't know. Share it with a friend, though. Somebody that needs to stay in the know, NBA-wise. Let's get it. Group chat. Game of the night. Thunder, Warriors in the Bay. Had to throw on the hieroglyphics. Had me thinking Bay. Even though they don't play in Oakland anymore. Shout out back when they played in Oracle. And poor Oakland, losing all of their teams. All right, let's talk basketball. Tie ball game going into the fourth quarter. Shai was on another scoring heater. 21 in the first quarter, 10 in the second, 12 in the third. Sidebar, why does ESPN continue to put former Warriors GM Bob Myers on games? He's not a good game analyst, and he shouldn't be calling Warriors games. He still has too many ties to the organization. Just no, not my flavor. Whatever. 109-105, under 2 minutes left. Andrew Wiggins hits a corner 3 off a Steph assist. Steph had hit a 3 just prior. The Warriors made the winning plays down the stretch. That pushed it to a 7-point lead. Gary Payton II would follow that with a dunk of the night. Yes, here we are, group chat game of the night. We've already given away the dunk of the night on the head top of Isaiah Hartenstein. It made it a 9-point game. It was over for all intents and purposes. 116-109, Golden State victorious. They have beaten Oklahoma City both meetings thus far. 27 from Andrew Wiggins, 21 from Steph. They overcome the second best scoring game of SGA's career. He had a career best 55 earlier this month. So the 52 cannot get it done with a completely unethical 21 free throw attempts. But he scores 52 of the 109 points. 26 came from J-Dub. And that led to my question, the open of the show. Is this Oklahoma City team, as constructed, a title potential winning team? Yes, I think you say they're in the conversation. They're leading the West. They're playing great. So yes, they have contending potential, but are they flawed in that they don't have a legitimate second option to help SGA? Is Jalen Williams that player? I think that is the question. Is Chet Holmgren that player? Can you count on Chet Holmgren if he comes back with the injury that he's had to ramp up to speed? So if you are the brain trust of the Oklahoma City Thunder, do you consider, given how great Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is playing, making a move to get him help? They have all the assets in the world, all of those first-round draft picks stockpiled. Or do you ride with what you got? On nights like tonight, albeit it came in a great effort from the Warriors, and it's not as if the Thunder are on a massive slide, but it makes you wonder. Food for thought. So as I began writing tonight's show, watching the early games, it looked as if everything was going to be a clunker. There were teams winning wire to wire. Nothing was competitive. And with 11 games, I'd said, all right, we're going to try something new. We are going to give a synopsis of each game in 11 words or less. Some games turned into better games, so we did that only for the 4 wire-to-wire wins that happened of the 11 tonight. There was one other one. So let's go through those. These were wire-to-wire. Nets, Hornets in 11 words or less, not including the score and the leading score that I added at the end. Nets, Hornets, no LaMelo, no chance, Nets from the jump. 104-83, Brooklyn, Keon Johnson was the leading scorer with 18. Pistons, Pacers, Siakam, Halliburton, 1-2 punch. Better than beef stews, ejection. 133-119, Indy, Pascal Siakam, more on him in a little bit, with 37. Raptors, Wizards, how low can you go? 15 straight L's for the Washington Wizards. 106-82, Toronto. Scotty Barnes, 24. Cavs Heat hit the ground running, did not look back, all Cavs. 126-106, Cleveland, Donovan Mitchell with 34. Bulls Celtics, this was the one that was not wire to wire. The Bulls at 1 point. Led by 1, lost by 22. Celtics threes for all. Celtics 3 for all. There you go. That's what it was. So the 11 words. Led by 1, lost by 22. Celtics 3 for all. 122-100 Boston. Kristaps Porzingis 34. The other games, they were seesaws, but nothing really to see. Go to the Garden, Nuggets, Knicks. Jokic picked up 2 fouls in the first 2 minutes and 12 seconds. He set the rest of the first quarter. But Denver able to keep it close. They picked up an 8-point lead in the third, but turnovers killed them all night. The Knicks defensively, they forced 14. They scored 23 points off of such. The Knicks only turned the ball over 6 times. Denver just scored 3 points, so they lose the turnover margin by -20. Not a winning recipe. 122-112, New York. Denver, their first time this season, they have lost 3 in a row. The Knicks are on a 5-game win streak. Jalen Brunson had it going all night long. 30 points on 10 of 16 shooting, 15 dimes. Let's go down I-95 in the Eastern Seaboard. Kings Sixers, 11 lead changes, 10 ties, but Philly had a 30-9 run over the last 5 minutes of the third into the fourth. 28-17 fourth period, they win 117-104. Another big night for Tyrese Maxey, 30 points. Mavs Pelicans, this one 17 lead changes, 10 ties. It was a 43-40 fourth quarter, a lot of points, 83 points in the fourth. That was in favor of New Orleans, but they needed one more point to send it to overtime. Dallas led by 10, 56 seconds left. CJ McCollum, buzzer 3, made it look closer than it was. It was 137-136, Dallas. Mavs, 4 guys with 20-plus. Clay, 20. Gafford, 22. PJ Washington, 25 and 14. Kyrie with 25. Clippers, Spurs. The Clippers built a 16-point lead early in the third. Spurs go on a 20-4 run. They did get the lead. Clippers, though, swing back, closing with a 20-5 run, 4:39 left in the fourth. It finished 128-116 Los Angeles. Kawhi does get booed in San Antonio. Move on. We're over it. 27 for him. That was a season high, looking more and more himself. He was interviewed afterwards. Sideline reporter had said, "Oh, career high." He corrected and said, "No, that is a season high." But looking in his bag, he had a smooth behind the back, up and under finish in their last win at home earlier this week. 27 from Norman Powell. Should be an all-star. 21 points, 22 rebounds from Ivica Zubac. 21 points, 11 assists from James Harden. Wembanyama, 23-12, 4-3-2. He took exception in the game to a chest from Ivica Zubac, but chose not to pursue the route of smoke. He lamented post-game his frustration with not getting a fair whistle. Welcome, Victor. You are now truly an NBA player if you're frustrated with the officiating. Wolves Suns. 12-point Suns lead evaporates in the second half. They were outscored by 12, but a late 10-2 run made it look prettier than it was. The Wolves continue to have shade for the Suns. They swept them in the playoffs last season. If you remember, they have won both regular season meetings. Jeez. This one was 121-113, 6 straight. Wolves head coach Chris Finch was ejected in the third. Might be writing a check to the league office. And Jaden McDaniels got ejected as well for poking Devin Booker in the head. We will start doing standings as we approach the 50-game mark, but I want to give you teams on streaks. The Knicks, 5 in a row as mentioned. They are now a game behind the Celtics for second in the East. The Raptors have also won 5 in a row. I told you, don't sleep on Toronto. They could get healthy, well-coached, team that fights. This is their longest win streak since 2022. In the West, the Wolves have won 4 straight. They are now just 2 games out of 4th place, currently sitting 7th. When it comes to losing, nobody does it better than the Wizards. They have ripped off their second 15-game losing streak of the season. They snapped their last one at home against Denver. They play the Lakers next in Washington. No AD for that one, so maybe the Wizards have a chance. Jazz have dropped 7 straight as well. Heavy Pour, leading scorer of the night, presented by Portland Water. Visit them at drinkpdxwater.com. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 52, but he had it in a loss. So we're not going to crack a can for the 50-plus point scoring performance because your team didn't win. Dunk of the night, already said it. Gary Payton II takes the cake, although Kyle Kuzma put Orlando Robinson on a poster, and Jalen Duren had a pretty nice dunk as well this evening. Performance of the night, Jalen Brunson. 30 points, 15 assists with the efficiency as well from the field, captaining his team to a victory over the Nuggets in their 5th straight win. Definitely looking the part in the Eastern Conference race. News and injuries. Quick hitters here on injuries. Jalen Johnson, unfortunately, out for the year for the Atlanta Hawks. He will have shoulder surgery on a torn labrum on his left side. Torn labrum. Anthony Davis will be out at least a week, hence why he'll be missing the Wizards game, and abdominal strain. LaMelo Ball, he will be reevaluated in 1 week with a left ankle sprain. Dylan Brooks, he'll be writing a $25,000 check to the league for saying bad words. I don't think they actually write checks. I think it's just already deducted out of their pay. $25K for bad words on TV. Speaking of TV, Reggie Miller announced as the lead analyst, or reported as the lead analyst for NBC's coming NBA coverage starting next season. Reggie's a solid analyst, but I'm here for new era, new voices. I don't know. Commissioner Adam Silver still making the media rounds. He was on the Dan Patrick Show today, and he said that he is a fan of moving away from the 12-minute quarters that the NBA plays to 10-minute quarters, mirroring what's done internationally and at every other level of basketball as well, with the intention of working more towards the 2-hour broadcast programming window if you are watching on television or smart devices, but trying to fit in that 2-hour window. I personally would be a fan. The commissioner talked about the pushback when it comes to stats as you're trimming 4% of, maybe my math, maybe 5%, 4 minutes off a 48-minute game. So you're going down 8 minutes, going 48 down to 40. I'd be up for it. Why not? Let's try it in the G League. That's the great incubator. Let's go down and give it a shot. Why not? House shoes. What I got on tonight, Air Force One High, Nike by You, custom joints that I did. Yeah, switching up, going some Nikes. Let's talk All-Star Reserves. They are coming tomorrow. Will be announced, tomorrow is today, Thursday, January 30th. When you're watching this show, like and subscribe, share with a friend. All-Star Reserve, 7 from each side to join the 5 starters already announced from the East and the West. Here are my 7 reserves. Knowing the 5 that we already have on the West, it is Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Nikola Jokic, and SGA. Well, my reserves, Anthony Edwards, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Victor Wembanyama, who I had as starters already. I do not think that Steph, KD, and LeBron should have gotten starting nods. But joining them, I would have Alperen Şengün of the Houston Rockets, Anthony Davis, Domantas Sabonis, and the air fryer himself. I've been waving the flag all season for what he has done. I give the nod to Norman Powell of the LA Clippers over James Harden. I think Harden has a case too, but why not reward your guy, Norman Powell? I'm sure James Harden would love to see Norman Powell, his name announced as an all-star reserve as well. Let's go to the East. Cade Cunningham, Darius Garland. Those two I had already thought deserved a starting nod, but joining them, Pascal Siakam of the Indiana Pacers. I don't think Halliburton has played well enough, or he's played well, but Pascal Siakam has been their best, most consistent player. Tyler Hero, Trae Young, Damian Lillard. And the last position was tough. Do you go with a second Boston Celtic or a third Cleveland Cavalier? And I think it was a shoo-in for Evan Mobley had he not missed the last 4 or so games that led to some losses for the Cavaliers, part of the reason they lost games. But I'm going to give it to Evan Mobley. So there you have it. In the West, Edwards, Jackson Jr., Wembanyama, Şengün, Davis, Sabonis, Norman Powell. In the East, Cunningham, Garland, Siakam, Hero, Young, Lillard, Evan Mobley. There you are. All-Star reserves. Come back tomorrow. We'll find out who the coaches chose. What to watch Thursday night in the league. 5 games on the slate. Hawks, Cavs. Atlanta struggling. They have lost 6 in a row, but they've won both meetings on the season thus far against the Cavs. Do the Cavs get some get back, or can the Hawks keep it going? Rockets, Grizzlies. That's 2 versus 3 in the West. Houston looking for their 5th win in a row on the season. And the Wizards, can they make it 16 straight losses against the Anthony Davis-less LA Lakers? That is what to watch on Thursday. Also, as I just mentioned, all-star reserves will be announced as well. It's everything you need to know from Wednesday across the National Basketball Association. For myself, Tyler Denning, here on Z's and Threes. You sleep, I peep. If you miss anything, you know we got you. If you like the show, please do like, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening on pod, give us 5 stars. Share with a friend. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.